I was born and raised in Fuzhou, a coastal city in southeast China. At the age of 14, I moved with my family to the United States. We moved in with my uncle and his family in Brooklyn so that we can look after each other. This marked the turning point of my young life, or start of a new life. Although English is a mandatory subject beginning in third grade in China, I never really understood why we were forced to learn English because everyone was speaking Chinese wherever I go. If I recall correctly, I only met a foreigner once in the city where I grew up. He asked me how I was doing, and that was about all I could understand. Everything else sounded like gibberish to me. I often skipped English classes because I had no interest in learning a foreign language. Fast forward to December of 2009, when I first came to America. Knowing very little to no English, I essentially had to learn it from scratch. After taking a few days to settle in, I registered at Franklin D. Roosevelt High School in Brooklyn. I still remember how excited and nervous I was on our first day of school. I stumbled into a classroom that was on my schedule and said, new student, in front of the whole class. The teacher looked confused and slightly annoyed and asked me if I was in the right room. I took a closer look at my schedule and confirmed that I was indeed in the right place. The teacher politely asked me to show him my schedule and burst into laughter when he saw it. I was actually 30 minutes early for another class in the same room. My face was flushed with embarrassment as I apologized and left the room. I was disoriented and overwhelmed for the rest of the day. The first 7 weeks of my new life in America were a rocky start to say the least. Not only was a language barrier that I struggled to climb over, but I also felt isolated from everybody else. Winter break began only a week after my first day of school, before I even had a chance to build relationships with my new classmates. While my parents were working full time, I stayed home for the entire winter break and had no one else to talk to or hang out with besides my 10-year-old cousin. Loneliness began to chip away at my self-worth and confidence. I questioned whether my new life in America would be better than the one I had in China, where I was surrounded by beloved friends and families. Things got slightly better after I returned to school. I became friends with a few guys who were recent immigrants like me, but I was still struggling to fit in. I felt as if I didn't belong in this school, this city, this country. I was never an extrovert, but I knew that if I wanted to fit in, I had to get out of my comfort zone to meet new people and embrace the American culture. I started to put a lot of effort into learning English and accustom myself to the culture. I forced myself to watch TV shows and movies without subtitles. I joined multiple clubs and even played for the varsity tennis team. I passed the ESL program in 2 semesters and had many friends who were native speakers of English. During the 4 years of high school, I grew up to become a positive and open-minded person while staying true to myself. And now, as a senior in college about to graduate, I'm no longer lost like I was 7 years ago. I've gotten used to the new way of life, and there's still so much more out there waiting for me.